session of the Scottsboro City Council to order. Prayer given by Mr. Kimmer and pledge given by Mr. Patrick Stewart.
Almighty God, we give you thanks and praise for your great goodness towards us. We ask you to be with the mayor and council as they go about the public business this evening. Lead, guide, and direct them in all that they do. These things we ask in Jesus Christ's name. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First on the agenda for tonight is Officer Daniel Pierce, Code Enforcement Officer, about property abatement. Mr. Pierce.
Good evening, everyone. In March of 2014, Lewis Pleasant filed a complaint on the property at 1493 Gant Road. His concern was just trash, abandoned vehicles, generally unaccountable. In speaking about this matter, there was such a huge quantity of stuff there that Mayor Potter agreed to give him a full year to clean it up. So a year later, he hadn't cleaned it up and he got a ticket. Came to court in July of 2015. He pled guilty. He was fined $75 and sentenced to 5 days in jail. He made no effort to clean it up after that, so a second charge was filed on him, in October of 2015. He came to court in December of 2015. He was fined $100, sentenced to 30 days by Judge Nick. He still hasn't cleaned it up. His trailer, the residence that he was living on or in at that property, burned on August the 9th of this year. So the original complainant, Mr. Pleasant, is asking the city to take some action at this point. Mr. Beard's whereabouts are unknown. His family's polite and cooperative, but they don't have any regular contact with him. So I don't know where I'd start looking for him today if I were going to, other than leave a message with his family. So I have some pictures if you'd like to look at them now. I'm going to turn them in to Whitney to end up in that abatement file. Pass them around now or get with her.
Mr. Pierce, who is the property owner?
Luther Beard.
And Mr. Beard has failed to comply with the terms and conditions of his probation as given by the judges.
I'm not sure if there were terms or conditions. They just sentenced him and fined him.
And you're bringing up to court that it's your opinion, and I believe it's also mine, that a civil lawsuit be filed against this property and against this property owner.
That would be the city's recourse at this time.
And what would happen would be that the city would clean the property up to code, and the however many thousands of dollars of cost would be levied against the property, correct?
That's my understanding. He'd be given the opportunity to pay the bill if he doesn't lien his file.
That's right. And this has been going on for more than a year and a half?
Yes, the original complaint was in March of 2014.
And the property is at 1493 Gant Road?
Yes, sir.
And we don't know the whereabouts of Mr. Beard right now. But under the statute of the state code, service would be given at the address for tax purposes, correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
Do we know he owns the property?
He does according to the courthouse, the latest tax record, and I looked the deed up last year. I can look it up again this year, but he was given that property through the estate of his father in 2008, I believe.
Do we know how much property we're talking about?
May or may not have it. have it with me, I can get that to you tomorrow.
I was just curious if it's more than just a small lot, or if you think it's more than that.
Might be 2 acres.
Maybe,
I mean,
if
it's
we
not-
do, Mr. Kimmer, if we do that.
Yes, sir.
Can we file on the whole property, or just that piece of property the trailer sitting on?
It's the whole tract of property.
Sounds kind of like it's about that time.
Any other questions? Mr. Pierce, I'd like to, set this on next Monday's, council meeting. That'll give other council members, I actually, after speaking with you this weekend, I actually drove out and viewed the property, in person. That'll give any other council members an opportunity to do that also. So we will set this, for the council meeting on the 19th, okay? Thank you.
Pictures.
With that one.
They're right there.
That's fine. Whitney, they're just gonna end up with you, okay? Thank you.
Next thing on the work session is discuss sanitation equipment lease. If you remember during the budget process, we set a budget aside to procure 3 sanitation trucks, 2 residential side loader trucks, and 1 commercial front loader truck. The bid opening was this week on the financing for that, which the way the financing was set up is with a balloon payment at the end. We have a guaranteed buyback from the supplier of $220,000. So the bid, that was on state contract, the bid was on the financing for that. Ms. Phillips, do you have the results of that bid process?
Yes, we received 5 bids for the financing, interest rates ranging from 2.06% to 2.95%. Payments ranging from $519,463.80 to $547,060.20. So it is recommended that the bid be awarded to BB&T.
Which was the low bidder, correct?
Yes.
And the percentage rate again from that bidder?
2.06%.
5-year term, correct? Any questions, comments, discussion?
The balloon payment, that's an option on that part, correct?
It is, so there would be 3 options at the maturity of the finance deal. As I said, the supplier has given us a guaranteed buyback of the $220,000. So option 1 would be for the supplier to take the trucks back at the 5-year mark and pay the balloon payment. The other option would be for the city to pay the balloon payment and continue to use the existing trucks. And the third option, which we believe will be the most viable at the time, will be that we put those trucks on the open market. We believe that they will bear a significantly more money on the bid than the $220,000. So any surplus would roll back into the payment of the renewal of the lease agreement for new trucks, I should say.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Our newest trucks that are out there on the road right now are how old?
I believe, Mr. Blizzard, about 9 years, is that correct? So, and Eddie, correct me if I'm wrong, but those trucks have about a 7 to 8 year lifespan.
That's really pushing past 7 years, so. Past 7 years, you're starting to get into, those basic components, engines, transmissions, and certainly big what we're doing with the last couple of years.
And if I remember correctly, 2 of the trucks that we're replacing, we had significant maintenance costs on last year, correct?
Yeah, somewhere around 84,000 for 2 trucks.
Just on
Just on parts.
2 trucks, right?
Yes.
Any other questions? I'd like to place this on the ninth agenda, if that's okay. Next on the work session is discuss permanent drainage easement. Mr. Mayor?
We have asked Mr. Kennemer to prepare this document. As you know, we've got a grant starting next year in 2017 to allow us to do some work on, I think it's called the, what's it called?
CDBG drainage drain.
But what's that drainage area over there called? Willow Drainage? Anyway, we're gonna have to access some private property, but this document will allow us to get on some private property where we have some major drainage ditches throughout the city. So it's just a legal document we need to have signed by the property owners that gives us permanent access to these ditches.
Thank you, Mayor. Anybody have any questions?
What it would do, it would enable the city to maintain maintain and help remove obstructions that are currently in the ditch system throughout the city, on top of anything that applied to the grounds. It would be part and parcel of the long-term drainage plans for the city. And part of the 20-year plan that started a number of years ago. The city has no right to own property, private property, even for drainage purposes, unless an easement's been granted. And once the property owner signs this, that fixes that project. It's my understanding from talking to previous people in previous administrations that this was done in 1976. But unfortunately, no documents were recorded, and we can't locate those documents. We've been looking for longer than 15 years. So this time, we'll get them recorded in the property office.
Any other questions? I'd like to also place this on tonight's agenda. Next, we have Veterans Field lighting. Mr. Owens.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come before you this evening. I want to talk about the lighting system for Veterans Field, a quote recommendation. The field lights and controls were removed from Veterans Field during the demolition. The existing lighting system was furnished by Musco when the Veterans Field was built. The new lighting system is needed with these specifications. The lighting levels will meet the standard levels, infield and outfield, to accommodate local play as well as tournaments. There will be 1,500 watt metal halide lights, the lights mounting hardware onto the existing poles, and the electrical cabinets and controls. Musco was contacted very early at the beginning of this project to get their input and provide budget pricing for the new lighting system. Musco has provided the lighting for the original Veterans Field and more recently, and as competitively bid, Bynum Park, the new soccer fields, and the tennis courts. Musco has furnished lighting at 37 different sports fields in the state of Alabama in the last 3 years alone. They have installations at more than 70 locations in Alabama. In meetings with Musco, the Power Board, and KPS over the past 3 months, needed lighting products, materials were identified, and Musco provided a quote for $197,500 for the new lighting system as described. I'm recommending that Musco be awarded the contract to provide the lighting materials as described in their quote for $197,500 for these reasons. Musco has a significant successful track record in our area and in our state. The materials quoted have been reviewed in meetings with the Power Board and KPS and are acceptable and fit in with the system, with the fields. Musco Lighting is a member of the National Joint Powers Alliance, NJPA, a national purchasing cooperative. The State of Alabama Department of Examiners of Public Accounts lists the NJPA as one of the cooperatives approved for use in Alabama based upon NJPA's competitive bidding process and soliciting pricing from member companies. The NJPA cooperative and member companies is essentially equivalent to the state bid list. The quoted price of $197,500 represents a $65,000 discount from regular pricing per Musco. Musco is expecting a 3 to 4% increase at the beginning of the year, so I'm bringing it, originally I was planning on waiting until the first of the year, after the first of the year, but they're anticipating that increase, and in order to keep the pricing the same, requesting council consideration so that the purchase order could be placed before the end of the year.
Just on this, you want to place the purchase order, when would the actual installation of the lights take place, not before other work?
That's correct, yeah. It'll take 4 to 6 weeks for them to fabricate them and get them all ready. Once we get them here on site, then I would work with the contractor and with the Power Board and figure out the best time to install the lights.
Questions?
Jim, on this one paper, it says expiration September 16, 2018. Would they not hold that price until then?
I have talked with Brian. I need for him to update this, but we've been talking all along. It's still good.
Okay.
I overlooked that, but I'll have him redo that. Brian is the Musco representative we've been dealing with.
I believe what Mr. Stewart is asking is their quote says their pricing is good through 2018.
Oh, that is 18, that's not 17.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, I need to ask him about that. I didn't, I was thinking that was 17.
Anybody else have any questions?
Oh, I know what that is. That's the expiration date for the master project that they have with the National Joint Powers Alliance.
Okay.
That's what that is. So they go through a bid process, and they have this master agreement, and this bid, if you will, is good until the 18th of 9/18. That's what that represents. That's not this quote.
Any other questions? I'm going to set this for, on the agenda for next Monday night.
Okay.
We'll place it on that council
All right.
meeting.
Anybody has any questions in the meantime, just feel free to call me. Thank you.
Next is to discuss contract with KPS Architects for Recom Heritage Center and Fire Station number 3. Mr. Mayor?
Yes, and my apologies to Christine, because she and I played phone tag for 2 days. But I am recommending to the council that we, as you know, we've got Veterans Field out, and I think the projected bid opening date is the 15th, that's correct. And I guess to put any questions to bed from the people at the Heritage Center, they've done an outstanding job in planning and so forth, but I think it's in the best interest of the city that we terminate the contracts with KPS for the Retcom Heritage Center and Fire Station 3 at this time. We're having to look at rebidding the Downtown Square project because it came in over budget. We don't know our numbers yet for Veterans Field, and so I think just in being good stewards of the taxpayer money, we just need to hold off on the other 3 projects till we get some firm pricing in on the other 2 projects that are on the street, so to speak. And it's nothing to do with the work that KPS has done, Christine, or the people involved. I just think we need to hold off on any further work on those 3 projects as far as involving the architects at this point in time.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Any discussion?
I spent quite a bit of time at the Heritage Center, and the people who work for Christine and them, they've been working on that project, and quite in depth as far as planning and drawings, and I say that to say, if we're not moving forward with it at this time, how do we settle what we owe them versus what we want to pay them? Because they have quite an investment already. How do we come about that?
The city is required to pay all fees to date on any project that is terminated, because there is no fault by any stretch of the imagination in the work that the architects firms have done. It's apparently the city budgetary and financial situation that is causing the delay, or whatever one wants to call it, of these 3 other projects. So they would be paid for all expenses up until the moment that you canceled the project.
But they just need to determine how much money we owe them and get with us, and who they need to get with.
That would happen after you did the cancellation. They would get with the mayor and Mr. Clerk.
Yeah, we've got a couple of invoices. I'm not sure if it's completely current, but she and I will discuss that after the fact.
Any other questions or comments? I'd also like to place this on next week's agenda. Next, we have Attorney John Porter, Electric Power Board franchise agreement. Mr. Porter.
Thank you, Mr. Wallingford. We were here some time ago, I don't know, a couple of months ago, when you all helped us with the reorganization, the reincorporation, modernization of the Power Board from a corporation standpoint. And one of the things we said to you at that time is, we'll be back to redo the franchise agreement. So we're here back, redo the franchise agreement. Most of you probably don't remember this. Unfortunately, I do. That means I've been here a long time. Back in 1998, the city granted the original franchise. There was an ordinance passed at that time which authorized the council to renew the franchise from time to time as needed. And so this is one of those times that we need you to do that for us. We appreciate it. I really do appreciate Ms. Phillips getting us on the agenda, the mayor getting us on the agenda tonight. It was kind of late getting on it, but we appreciate it. The franchise is basically the same one that's in existence now. It just extends it for another period of time. And again, as we explained when we were here before, this all has to do with the bond issue we're trying to get issued, and what those is. Mr. Kimmer lovingly referred to them as those silk stocking lawyers in Birmingham. So I'll just tell you, they refer to themselves as the pointy-headed bond lawyers in Birmingham. So anyway, this is part of what they have requested for us to do to give a clean bill of health and to issue the bonds with the best rating we could get. I'll be glad to answer any questions. Mr. Cheney is here, and Ms. Gross is here. I don't know if you got any questions for them, but we'll be glad to answer any questions that you've got. Hopefully, this is pretty straightforward, and we'd ask you to consider this and then place it on the agenda for the council meeting tonight so we can get this approved.
Mr. Kimmer, have you reviewed the document?
I have reviewed this document and the previous document, and if they are, everything this Porter has said is absolutely correct. I see no difficulty and no problem with this document.
Any other questions or comments? If If not, we'll place this on tonight's agenda as well.
We really do appreciate, I want to say this while we're here, we appreciate the cooperative effort that we have between the two organizations. It has been a good partnership, I think, between the city and the Power Board. So we appreciate your efforts. We really do. Thanks.
And next, we have discussed resolution 2016-12-43, award bid for CPR devices for the fire department. Ms. Phillips?
The fire department is in need of mechanical chest compression devices. They posted one bid, mailed 3 bids, and received 4 bids for the 3 devices. Volume Medical bid $27,110. Emergency Medical Products, $27,447. Physio Control had 2 bids, one at $48,089.53 and the other at $49,412.73. It is recommended that the bid be awarded to Volume Medical as the lowest responsible bidder.
Any questions? No, we'll place this on tonight's agenda. We'll take about a 3-minute recess